You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 24 of the Battle Heat Fans Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel. Got on alongside me, as always, Daniel Solana. How are you doing, sir? Oh, happy Thanksgiving to you, sir.
Happy Thanksgiving. I'm doing fantastic, Danny. What a game yesterday. Unfortunately, again, not the greatest shooting night for the Heat from three-point land, but like we said on Tuesday's episode, good teams always find a way to win these types of games. And the Heat did it again, 6 in a row, Danny. That is, I believe, their ninth win at home this season. They are 9-1, if I'm
9-1.
not mistaken. And that's what good teams need to do: protect home court advantage and win clutch games. And that's exactly what the Heat did last night. And like my sign says, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure, but the Heat, with that win, have advanced to the next round in
I
the
think you might
MLS
be
Cup.
mistaken.
I mean, in the
I,
NBA
I,
Cup.
I think we have a foot in because of our point differential. We could still win the group if the Bucks beat the Knicks on Friday night. But who cares? Put advanced anyway. Who
Yeah,
cares?
absolutely, man. I mean, we're right here. We're Heat fans, baby.
Yeah.
We are battered Heat fans. We know what it's like to not make it, and we're excited when the team is finally playing well, and we're excited when the team finally clinches a spot into the next round. And like I said, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 99.9% sure that the Heat, with last night's win, have secured at least a wild card spot in the NBA Cup,
Yeah.
and will, for the first time, be going to the next round. And now it's going to depend what happens in the Knicks Bucks game that they play tomorrow night. It's going to all depend on that, because if the Heat clinch first, we get to host a next round game at Kaseya Center. If the Knicks win, they'll probably take first place, and we'll have to go on the road for that next game.
Is that how that works? I'm
That,
not. Look, I've paid such little attention to the cup, the first couple of seasons, that I have no idea how it works. Bad on me, because we're podcasting about it, so I should probably look up into it a little more. So I'll do a better job for next episode. But I have no idea how that works. Well, one thing I will say. Oh, and Giannis is supposedly might be back for that Knicks game. So hopefully that helps the Bucks beat the Knicks. I want to make sure that we don't forget to say shout out and congratulations to Spo. 800th win. It was a cool video of him walking into the locker room and then getting, hosed down with water. And he's like, why? He has no idea what the hell's going on. He doesn't keep track of those things because he wins games for fun. And he won his 800 game. Shout out to him. Not an easy task, and the best coach being represented by everybody.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Shout out to Spo. Big win. I think when it's all said and done, Danny, he's going to end up with the most wins ever for an NBA coach. And he will go down as probably one of the greatest NBA coaches in the history of the sport. He started off as a young buck in the video room, worked his way up, and really what he's done, doesn't matter what team he's given, he always finds a way to get the best out of that team. And again, that's exactly what he's done this year. He's reinvented himself again in terms of coaching. He has this new playing style, and he's doing it again, man. He's showing again why he should be coach of the year every single year in this league.
He's never won it, but I have a feeling enough people are talking about it this year that if the Key keep playing like this, he will win it this year. So
Isn't it
going back,
funny? Isn't it
okay.
funny? All the rumblings, all the rumblings. First, we talked yesterday about Bam Adebayo and Defensive Player of the Year, and how he's never won it. And now finally, there's rumblings. Now we're talking about Coach Spo, never winning Coach of the Year. Now there's rumblings. All of a sudden, it looks like the NBA landscape has shifted into Heat culture again. While the last few years they ignored it, especially with what happened with Jimmy. But it looks like the NBA, media is back, and they're loving Heat culture, Danny.
Yeah, absolutely. And now turning back to last night's game, uh, first time the Heat are fully healthy. They had everybody in the arsenal, so it was going to be that game where you're like, "Ooh, okay, so let's see how the minutes break down." We wondered what happens if everybody's healthy, what the starting lineup will be. We said we would probably see them go small on an episode we had about Tyler Hero last week. We got the lineup that you and I both said that we would probably see. They went small. After Khalil Ware's performances over the last couple of weeks, I thought maybe he would have earned a starting spot, but he went small. Not the prettiest of games. horrible shooting performance, but like you said, they get the win anyway. What did you think of the starting lineup, and are you okay with Khalil Ware coming off the bench? I think. Well, I'll let you go ahead first.
I think it's got to be a matchup, right? I think Coach Spo, unfortunately, he got a little too excited with the fact that both Norman Powell and Tyler Herro were healthy, and he went with that starting lineup. I think last night he fumbled a little bit. He probably should have went with Khalil Ware, considering that we were going up against Miles Turner. Miles Turner had himself a game, right? Miles Turner ended up with 24 points, 8 rebounds, and he was pivotal for the Bucks, in the paint on the offensive side and also on the defensive side. And I felt like when Ware was in against Miles Turner, he struggled. He struggled on the offensive end. I thought Ware played a fantastic game defensively, and he was the player of the Heat that had the best plus minus, right, Danny? 16 plus minus, positive 16
minutes. Yeah.
in 26 minutes, 11 points, 9 rebounds. If he would have gotten a few more minutes, I think he would have ended up with another double-double. But look, I think the starting lineup was what we all wanted to see. We wanted to see how it was when we went small. But unfortunately, when we play teams that have bigs like Miles Turner, we're going to need Khalil Ware to step into possibly the starting lineup or have some big minutes off the bench, because if not, you saw what happens when he's not in there. We get severely out-rebounded by anybody.
I think if Giannis plays last night and it's Giannis and Miles Turner, I think that maybe Spo puts Khalil Ware out there. I think he didn't mind going small because Giannis wasn't playing. I think it is going to be interesting to see how that works out moving forward, as I have a plane flying over me right now. I'm sure you can hear that. But in the last couple of games, Bam and Ware, even though they've started together, Ware gets subbed out first, and then it's almost like they get staggered. They don't play a lot of minutes together. Last night we saw it a little more, especially in that second quarter. But I don't think that Spo, although they have looked much better together recently, I don't think he has many intentions of playing them too often together. So I don't think that him being a starter is necessarily a big change from what you're going to see, whether he is or he's not, because I think that Bam and Ware are going to be staggering minutes regardless throughout the games. So like you say often, it's not who starts, it's who finishes, and Ware hasn't been finishing games, and I don't know if that's going to change.
Yeah, I think again it's gonna depend on matchups, right? It's gonna depend on who they're playing against and if they're gonna need a bigger body in there to contest for rebounds. And last night, unfortunately, he didn't get to finish the game, and he hasn't been, but he's been very impactful in the minutes that Spo has given him, and that's what he needs to continue to do. He needs to continue to be ready to go at any point. Like this Heat team has always said, next man up, and they're gonna need a different player every game, because we don't have that superstar that other teams have, that go-to guy. And so we're going to see Norman Powell have a great game. We're going to see Tyler Herro have a great game. We're going to see different guys have great games on different nights. And that's exactly why this Heat team is so much fun to watch, because on any given night, it could be any one of our players that goes off, and they continue to win.
Can I tell you a quick stat?
Absolutely, man.
Since Khalil Ware received that text message from Udonis Haslem, and Udonis Haslem put his magical fingers to work, and he said, "Man, get on your shit," is basically what he said. Khalil Ware, in the last 6 games, we are for one undefeated since that text message went out. And then these are the averages for Khalil Ware: 15.7 points, 14.5 rebounds, 1.3 blocks per game. He hasn't played over 30 minutes, I think, any of those games. I think there was 3 games that he got 20 rebounds. Like, he has been killing it over the last 6 games. And I mean, if he keeps going at this rate, don't let me forget, because I want to touch on the Best in the East episode that we had yesterday, because there were some comments that I wanted to address before the end of the show. But Khalil Ware, if he keeps going this way, like, he is going to end the season as one of the top centers in the league, because he has been playing out of his mind. The effort that he's putting in, what you wanted was, the skill set was there, the potential was there, but now he's putting it forward. Like, you could see that he's trying, which is sad to say for a professional athlete, that you have to wait for it to see it. But whatever, it happened. Udonis Haslem lit that fire under his ass, and he's absolutely balling. So, Tyler Herro, second game back, great game yesterday. Well, he led the team with 29 points, was it? 29 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. But one thing that I think is going to be an interesting talking point, and thank goodness they won the last 2 games, even though they were close games. obviously we got 140-point games, 150-point games, 200-point. Like we've been scoring out of this world this year. And then Tyler Hero comes back, and we have 2 games in a row. We get 106 points. If we lose those 2 games, I can only imagine the Twitterverse or talking crap about how Tyler Hero is ruining this team and please ship him away. Right? Thank God they won these last 2 games, because if they lose those 2 games, it gets really ugly just because they scored 106 points 2 games in a row.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I thought, the questions that Tyler received in the post game conference, were about that, and unfortunately, instead of talking about another Heat win, we're here talking about, is Tyler Hero the issue in terms of the Heat not continuing that pace that we saw over the first games without him, and look, I think it's a fair criticism, right? Because you're going to have some growing pains, especially as Tyler Hero gets adjusted to this type of play and he gets adjusted to Norman Powell. And because Norman Powell has been the go to guy while Tyler Hero's been out. And yesterday we saw him have a tough outing, not getting his normal 20 plus points. And it was really Tyler Hero who was the hot hand and who was the guy who was, putting the offense on his back. But I think it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time to understand again. It's going to grow. But the important thing is that this team continues to win, right? You don't want to have losses while you have these growing pains. You want to show the league that you can win without or playing any style and adapting to any team. And like we said, last 6 games, and since Udonis Haslem sent that text message to Kel'el Ware, not only has Kel'el Ware been dominant, but the Heat have been dominant and have shown that they're one of the better teams in this Eastern Conference and in the NBA.
Winning 6 games, no matter who it's against, is not an easy task. They won the 6 games in a row, and then on top of that, they
they beat all playoff teams. They beat all playoff teams from last year.
And they're finding ways to win.
Exactly.
Look, we lost to Cleveland 2-3 weeks ago now. That team that was all injured. We should have won that game. We couldn't find a way to win. But as the season goes on, we were finding ways to win these ugly games. And now to the Tyler Hero point where people are like, oh, maybe he bogged down the offense. We've been shooting horribly. I think it's more on what the way the teams are defending us. They're asking us to shoot, and we aren't making them pay. As far as let's see, 3-point percent, we're 28% from 3-point land, 10 for 36. Simone Fontecchio, which was the guy, 0 for 1. He only got 7 minutes. I think, like we said a couple shows ago, he's going to be the one that suffers the most, I think, minutes-wise now, especially since he's gone cold. And one thing that I thought was really weird about yesterday was Jaime Jaquez only got 17 minutes. I've been trying to figure out what it could have been, why Pell Larson got more minutes, Drew Smith got more minutes. Like I thought that was really odd that Jaime only got 17. And then one more thing about the whole Tyler Hero and how the team has looked a little different. Look, I've heard players say that it's a different mentality when you're usually a starter and then your role changes to a bench player. Like it's just different. It takes a while to adjust. Pell Larson's been starting for the majority of the season. Things are going to look a little different when you go on the bench. Norman Powell, he knows he has the green light, and everybody technically has the green light on this team right now. But now that you have Tyler Hero, you're like, okay, I got to adjust a little bit. And I think this is just an adjustment period. I think Tyler Hero, the first game back, I thought that he looked a little more hesitant. I thought today he looked a lot more. Last night he looked a lot crisper, a lot quicker in his decision making. I think this team's going to be fine. They're now finally healthy, and I think there's a lot of experimenting by Spo. He played 10 players in the first quarter. Like there's going to be a lot of experimenting, and I think that that's just what we're going through right now. But I think that all positives right now, and I'm feeling good right now. 13-6, and then the biggest test, the 20th game. Right, we said 20 games is when we're going to say where the Heat are. The 20th game is against those Detroit Pistons on Saturday night. Biggest game of the year. It's going to be interesting, but I'm looking forward to it.
I disagree, man. I disagree. It's not the biggest game of the year, even if
so
they
far?
lose.
No,
yeah,
so far.
Yeah. I think last night.
Far.
I think last night was the biggest game of the year so far because it gave you that extra win to put you in first place in Group C in the Eastern Conference in the NBA Cup. And like we've said, Danny, we've or at least I've bought into this NBA Cup. I think it's something that I want the Heat to continue to go far in. I want to see them get to Vegas. I want to cheer my team on while they're in Vegas, and they have 1 foot in. So I think last night was one of the biggest games, especially knowing that it could be a trap game, because you do have the Detroit Pistons, who are in first place in the Eastern Conference, coming into your house on Saturday, and no Giannis. So this could have been a trap game. This could have been a game where we could have seen the Heat struggle and lose like they did to a shorthanded Cleveland Cavaliers team. So to me, I think last night's game was the biggest win of the season.
That's fair. But I'll go back to yesterday's episode. Like I said, I wanted to address before. Some people went on the comments, and shout out to you for taking the time to commenting. But some people were like, I can't subscribe to this channel. They're too biased. Right now, the Detroit Pistons are number 1 in the East. And I said it on the show, right? Like, I need to see them against Detroit before I can say that they're the best. But we went through the Rolodex of teams. What team has looked the way that this Heat team has, with a strength of schedule that the Heat have played against compared to everybody else? We were top 5 as far as the most difficult schedule. They haven't been healthy up until last night. We have Khalil Ware, which is looking like he might be an absolute monster, and we haven't even fully unlocked him yet. And we're about to get into the easier part of the schedule. We're finally getting healthy. Like, how is that? Yes, it is to an extent biased. But can you really argue that they are better than the majority of the Eastern teams from what you've seen so far? Like Detroit, fine. The Cavs, because of what you saw last year, fine. But outside of those 2 teams, and maybe Toronto, because last night they won again on the buzzer, Brandon Ingram's finally coming into his own. Like, you can't say that the Heat aren't one of the top teams. Maybe top right now. It's still early to say. But the way that they've looked without being fully healthy, I don't know. I'm having a hard time people saying that it's overly biased.
Look, man, you think we're biased? Don't subscribe. Don't subscribe. Don't do it. Go watch another show who's gonna talk crap about the Heat if you want. But look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest. It's not bias. It's just what I think. It's my opinion. I've gone to a bunch of the games this year. We watch every single game, Danny. We analyze every single game, and we come on here and we give our opinion. So if you don't want to subscribe, that's on you, buddy. There's a lot of folks who luckily have subscribed, who enjoy this content, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you guys leaving comments like Danny said, and we appreciate going into the comments after the show and writing back. I went back and, somebody wished me a happy birthday. I said thank you, but I did see that comment, and the commenter said he's been watching, or he's been a Heat fan since 95, and we're biased. Buddy, I've been a Heat fan since 88. Since the first season. I was 3 years old. I started going to games in the 90s. I've had season tickets since the early 2000s for over 25 years now. It's not about bias. This is a lot of basketball that I've watched in my life. And I'm not saying that I am this basketball expert. I'm not trying to say, hey, I should be on ESPN and analyze. No. But I've watched a lot of basketball, and I've been a part of this team for many, many years. And I've seen different transitions from correct different eras, from the first eras of Bimbo Coles to then we got the Tim Hardaway and Alonzo Mourning and Jamal Mashburn era. Then we went to the Dwayne Wade and the Eddie Jones era. That was a fun era. And then from there you had the big 3, and now we have this new iteration of the Heat are running wild. And look, you can't expect us to not be excited for this team and to not
look, I think that maybe there is a little bias there, which is fair, right? This is a Heat podcast. There is a little bias. But so if anybody wants to go back to the very first episode where we were previewing the season, we didn't say they were going to be the best team that episode. We said the goal is to end up top 6.
Like, we said 10-10, right? 10-10, and we're 13-6.
Right. Like we're saying this after what we've seen. What we've seen from the rest of the East, when we've seen the Cavs and the Knicks struggle a little bit, when we've seen the Pistons, and when Solana ran down the list of teams that the Pistons have beat up on to get that 13-game winning streak, they're probably maybe the best team in the East, but we're right there. So a little bit of bias for sure. I'm not going to deny it. Solana, if you want to deny it, it's fine. There probably is a little bit of bias, but I think that there is some logic behind what we said, because again, the schedule we've had, the fact that we haven't been healthy, leading the league in scoring, second in rebounding, and then we have this monster that's in his second year and he's just now coming into his own, and we have the best coach in the league. I'm sorry. Like, yes, maybe a little bit of bias, but don't tell me that we are so out of this world biased that it makes absolutely no sense. I think that is making some sense.
The Pistons lost last night. Get the hell out of here. Pistons lost to the Celtics.
Also, the Celtics, yeah.
117-114. So get out of here, man. They lost
You know what
to
the
the
best
Celtics.
part is?
The Celtics are garbage. Get out of here.
They could have broken their franchise record for most wins in a row with 14.
I'm glad they
but
didn't.
lost.
I'm glad
Well,
they didn't.
I'm glad that they're about to get their first losing streak of the season on Saturday when they lose 2 in a row.
Absolutely, because they're coming. Do you know if it's a city edition? Is it a Vice night?
No, it's not. It's not.
Let me tell you one more thing. Talking about, we like to talk about courts and we like to talk about jerseys.
Yeah.
At the game last night, because I didn't go to one of the first couple cup games that they had, and I commented, I think, on an episode that I didn't like the court. I was at the game last night, and it's so much different in person than it is on TV. In TV, it looks yellow, glossy.
Yeah, in person it doesn't. Yeah,
and it is yellow. It is yellow in person,
no,
but it's more
not
like
as,
an
not
old
as
school
yellow.
heat court. It's more like an old school court. It was really cool. I liked it. I really like that compared to some of the other teams, like the green that they have in Minnesota and the gray that they have in San Antonio and all that. I really enjoyed watching that heat court last night.
Yeah, I agree. The next 5 games are up on the screen. It's the Pistons at home, the Clippers at home, the Mavs away, Orlando away, and then Sacramento at home.
We're going to blow everybody out.
The Sacramento game, hey, we're biased. Sacramento game at home is the next Vice game, actually, the next Vice night. And then that game is the last game before the NBA Cup little mini tournament that happens in Vegas. So a lot to look forward to. Solana, any final words on this Thanksgiving morning? And again, real quick, thank you, Solana, for joining me. 24 episodes so far this season, a little over a month in. And I'm thankful for you and for everybody that has taken the time to check us out, to subscribe to the channel, and to have fun with us, man. It's been a fun year so far.
Absolutely, man. No, since we're saying what we're thankful for, like I said, I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for the whole Battered Network. If you guys haven't yet checked out batteredfans.com, there is a Black Friday promo code in there, Black Friday 25. Don't forget to check it out. We have some really cool Heat shirts, some really cool Inter Miami shirts, really a lot of cool shirts overall. So don't forget to check that out. So I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for everybody who sends us messages in the chat, who likes, who subscribes, who takes time to check us out, because we're not professionals, but we just love doing this, and
we're fans.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. So I'm thankful for them. Happy Thanksgiving, and screw the Detroit Pistons, and the Heat are going to win the next 5.
First losing streak for the Detroit Pistons coming up on Saturday. And for the person that said that we're biased and you don't want to subscribe, don't listen to Solana. Subscribe anyway, and then just keep talking shit to us, because I love people that talk shit to us. I just like it. I don't know. If you're listening on audio, please leave us 5 stars and a comment. If you're watching on YouTube and you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And as always, I was about to say the live chat, but we don't do like this live, so it's like a memory thing I got going. Solana, have a happy Thanksgiving. According to us, they have advanced, even though they haven't, but who cares? Let's say they have. And let's have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy your turkeys, enjoy your stuffing. And what's your favorite dish? What's your favorite dish in Thanksgiving?
Everybody's going to hate me, but I'm going to say turkey. A lot of people say that, how could you like the turkey? A lot of people go with mashed potatoes. A lot of people go with stuffing. A lot of people go with
my favorite.
With cranberry.
Like the one my mother makes.
Yeah, well, my wife makes a really good mashed potato. She's going to make mashed potatoes. And apparently my sister-in-law makes a really good corn souffle that she won an appetizer contest with her corn souffle.
Oh, okay.
So I'm excited for her to bring that over tonight.
Nice.
It's going to be an early Thanksgiving at the Solana household, 5 p.m., and we're going to be watching some football. So, yeah, nice.
I'm about to go watch the parade right now with my kids. That's something that we do every year.
Make sure you catch the Demon Hunters float. It's new this year.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, man, my daughter's going to be hyped.
And performance. Right, float and performance.
And the parade started 4 minutes ago. It's 8:34 right now for those wondering. So let me go check that out. Solana, again, thank you again. Thankful for you. Thankful for everybody. Thankful for the Heat. And thank you for Pat James Riley for putting this team together and keeping it rocking and rolling for the last 30 years. We'll be back on Sunday talking Pistons and their first losing streak as the Miami Heat put a whoop into them. So until the next one, have a good one.